Check. Hello. Hello, hello. Check low. Check low. Hello. Hello. Hello.
Good morning, everyone. Good morning, everyone. Hopefully, everybody has settled down. And which one? Achha, this one is blocking. I'm happy. Which one? Yes. We'll stop the music and stop the video. Good morning, everyone. Finally, we are settling down. Are you able to hear? Hopefully. Okay. Sorry, we are 30 minutes late because whatever assembly that we are seeing, it took us another 30 minutes beyond the plan for people to assemble. These 2 weeks, as you know, is the summer break in Kolkata. So what we are hearing is a lot of people are out. But again, thanks for everybody for making time. Hopefully today's meeting will not be as long as we typically have our general body meetings. But we also have sumptuous lunch after this, so please stay back for that, as you have seen. This is probably the first time we are having a general body meeting in 2 successive months. We had one last month and we are having it again. And while last one was a special general meeting for a very time-sensitive issue that all of you participated in and helped us make a decision on, today's meeting is more of a procedural thing. It's an annual event. It's an annual general body meeting that we are supposed to conduct by the month of May to report the annual report, the audited financial statements of last year, and a few other procedural things that we'll cover. There is also a very important topic today, which is talking about our conversion from our bulk HT meters that we have to an individual LT meter. So we'll talk about that, and I think that is where we would need all of your broader inputs. It's not an easy decision to make, as you'll see, but I think it needs broader first understanding because it's a fairly complex topic. Every time I hear about it, I myself get confused. But it's important that all of us first try to understand it, and then we'll have an opportunity to have a little bit of a discussion and follow up. We'll have to make a majority decision in terms of what should be the path forward. So without further ado, I'll request Ranjan Basu, our president, who is the chair of this meeting, to kick off this meeting.
Good morning, everybody. This meeting is actually requirement of our Apartment Ownership Act, which insists that the general body meeting has to be held in the month of May. And so we had to rush through. One big challenge was getting the audited report done. You know, it's a big issue in the sense some of the TDS returns in the trace document comes only at June. We had to follow up and get this report done without any qualification from the auditor. But since it's a statutory requirement, we have been able to do it. And we also thank all of you to come and attend this meeting. We understand like this is a vacation time and many people are not in Calcutta. But whatever, we wanted to convey this message that what all development we have done. We have made also a very detailed annual report covering all the activities. If you see 2022-23 was a very, very active year for Rosedale. Many activities were taken up and some of these things were arranged in a very nice, grand way. Whether it is RGUC organized program or Ramcharit Manas, or even some of our activities building, all our buildings look new. Some of the repair work is still, painting work is still pending, but that also will be done. And this will make Rosedale really the prime property. I hear from many people that Rosedale looks like a resort. And credit for that goes to all of you who have worked to make this property as a resort, as a #1 destination for Calcutta. With this, we will go quickly to the agenda points. Some of the agenda points are mandated by our act, like presenting the annual report. These are the requirements, like to consider the annual report. We have circulated the document. This is a 13 MB document, so it could not be emailed, but we have given a link in MyGate. I hope you have gone through it and seen the report. Next one is obviously the audit and the audit report by our auditor and the audited annual financial statement. This we have emailed to all of you, and I hope you have seen. We'll quickly look into that and we will answer any queries coming out of it. The next point is again the annual budget for this year, and here I must say that we have been able to maintain the same CAM rate, minimum common area maintenance charges, same for the 5th year. We will show the documents how we have maintained the cost and kept it at ₹2.98, though the actual cost have gone up considerably. These agenda points, and also the 4th one is a reappointment of Mr. Rohit Poddar as the auditor for our association. These 4 are statutorily required agenda which we have to cover. Next comes the important thing is we have to appoint a returning officer to conduct the election due to death of Mr. Ratanlal Bed. He was one of our active BOM members and he has always supported us, guided us in number of areas. We have lost him. We have to fill up the vacancy and we have to conduct election for that. Then the most important point where we need everybody's input, thought process is the LT conversion. Details will come when we talk about the agenda. And last point is in case any other point someone wants to discuss. So quickly we'll go to the agenda. Joy. Okay.
All right, thank you, Ranjana. So let's quickly go through the agenda. I think the annual report has been circulated to all of you. Hope you had a chance to look at it. Otherwise, you can anytime go to MyGate and see it. This is just a brief summary of how the year FY 22-23, so the year ending March 31st, 2023, how it was for us. As you know, our CAM was at 298 last year, and we had the budgeted amount that you can see here, and we had the actual amount of expenditure, and also on the income side. The expenditure, as you can see, I'm not getting into too much of details, but with the continued inflation of cost that we have been seeing, our expenditure you see on the book is still we had to manage very, very tightly. Okay, from the budget to the actuals, we are still about 40 lakh short in terms of how we contained the expenses. So we were able to keep our expenditure within the budget, well within the budget. However, there is a catch there, and that's some of the notes that you'll see below. This is the book value of our account statement, which is audited. The cash flow position, however, is slightly different, because what you don't see here is we also have refunded about 40 lakhs worth of GST input credit that we have gotten as association. Okay, so people who pay GST, they have been getting consistent GST returns every month. That total amount goes to about 40 lakhs. We don't show that as an expenditure, but that's actually an offset to the income that was supposed to happen, because people don't end up paying 298. Not everybody ends up paying 298. Right? So that is one item extra. The second thing is, from a cash flow standpoint, we have about 26 lakhs of billing to Plaza, which we don't recover the money. Last year was no different. So again, a 26 lakh shortage on that front. There is another 11 lakh that we have billed that shows as income in the books, but from a cash flow standpoint, another 11 lakh from all other owners. There's delinquency of that, right? So if you add all of that up, it's quite a significant amount of sum of money that doesn't wholly get compensated by the 40 lakhs or so underspending over budget, right? Because our outlay of cash has been a lot more. We had a contingency reserve last year of about 19 lakhs because our CAM included a contingency portion last year. That was about 19 lakhs, so that helped us offset some of it. But effectively, if you do all the pluses and minuses, you'll see that it'll have another between 12 to 13 lakhs worth of money for which we had to dip into our prior year reserves. There are chairs here. You can come in front. Yes, is there a question?
One question. Here maintenance, the variance is minus 11%. Is it that it is more budgeted was cost more, or maybe it is not yet, it has to be yet to be completed?
No. So this is a budget. So remember, these are the usual repair, break fix, etc. that happen in a campus. So we typically budget an amount based on prior year numbers. This year you see it's marginally lower given our building repairs, the major capital investment that is going on right now in terms of the large program. That is why you are seeing a little bit of savings. But still we ended up spending very close. So within plus minus 10% of any budget, I would consider a good number. Right? Saying because budget is a budget at the end of the day. But the summary of this is last year we actually had to dip into our prior year reserves, unlike all the previous years where we ended up with a surplus. And we kind of added to a sort of a corpus that we never had. But last year was the first year where we actually had a little more spending in terms of cash flow. Again, not just good. Yes. Where?
Consumables and this against 22 lakhs budget is 11%. Is that a combination of?
I think a lot of these two are coming in because of very large scale work on the repair, renovation, everything else that's happening right now. You are seeing a lot of dip on that. I don't.
If the work is happening, then it should be higher than the budget. Budget you pay 22 lakhs?
No. So this is CAM budget, remember. This is not building renovation. Building renovation is a separate fund. This is the 298 that we all pay for the upkeep of our campus. The building renovation is a separate budget. RGUC is a separate budget. Those are all separate budgets.
The consumables, why is so? The consumables generally, it can vary by 10 to 15%. 48% variation which is lower side.
Good question. I don't have the answer. I don't know if there is a detailed number anybody has, but let's make a note and come back. The one reason I'll tell you, Moinak, is one of the biggest consumables that we have in our spend is the swimming pool, this chlorine, all that. And our swimming pool has been closed for a very long time last year, right? Because of the repair work and all of that. I think part of this is because of the swimming pool expenditure that we did not incur on consumables, but there may be other pockets. We'll have to cross check and find out. Okay. Any other comments on this before I move on? That's a good segue to the next one. I don't expect you to read all of this, but this is the building renovation, which is outside. All of you have paid a deposit. We are using that deposit money, the advance deposit that you have paid to do the building repair work. Where we are today is we have actually billed about 3 crores worth of rupees. We have collected about 2.8 crores, which is a decent collection, I would say. Right? So thank you for that. In terms of what we have collected, expenditure, our vendors who are working on it, they have billed us about 2.24 crores already, and we have paid about 2 crores out of that already. So from the collections that we have been having, there has been a lot of payment, and by end of this month we expect another 62 lakhs worth of bill coming in. So that would pretty much use up the 2.8 collection that we have had, and hence in the last SGM we talked about that we'll be raising the next installment of 10 rupees. So that's going to happen in June. We will raise that invoice in June.
One question. So some of the people have been asking, there is a bill which has been raised around
Correct. So let me address that. So last night, for those of you who have been checking MyGate or SMS or anything else, you would have seen a bill has hit you on this GST. So which is this first point? Okay. What we do typically is, as you know, that we have collected the advance. We do this in advance. And then as the expenditure and at the point of collecting the advance, there is no GST. When you pay the 10 rupees security deposit, we don't bill you any GST on that. But at the point of transaction where the expenditure takes place, in that time period, we have to actually collect the GST because we have to pay GST on that amount to our vendors. So what we typically do is periodically, it's not possible physically to do it on every single transaction. So we batch things up, and up to August, we had created a GST bill where what we do is whatever actual expenditure we have incurred to the vendors, we send you a bill for that. We give you credit. The principal amount is actually offset from the advance you have already paid. So you'll see a billed amount and you'll see a credit amount. If you have already paid the advance, same amount is credited from your advance. Only the GST portion of the bill is billed to you in the new one. So this is the third installment. We did one in August, we did one in December, and now what you have got is for May, where you would have got the next round of all the payments that we have made and bills that we have got from January to May. That is what we have said last night. Okay, so that's the third installment of 96 lakhs that we spend in expenditure in last 5 months. The corresponding GST payment, the math comes to about 1.19 rupees per square feet for everybody. The net GST payment that you will have to make on that. Okay, so that is that, and like I said, we have exhausted the collection that we have had. So expect the next installment to be raised in the month of June for 10 rupees. Okay. The next one is RGUC, which is also a committee under the association. I don't know if I don't have a lot of insight into it, but this is their report of financials. They are showing 2,91,000 surplus in terms of the earnings that they have had through your subscription, sponsorship, external sponsorship, everything that comes in. The difference between their earnings and expenditure. So they have been able to manage all these fantastic events that we have been enjoying through the year within their own earnings and be able to save a surplus corpus of 2.9 lakhs. So with that, I think let's do the procedural thing, wrap up. We have sent you the annual report. We have sent you the audited account statement. You'll see the balance sheet, you'll see the income statement, you'll see the cash flow statement, all of that with the auditor's stamp and sign. All of that has been sent to you, along with the auditor's report in terms of what their observations are. If you guys are okay, this is the link below that you can see. You can open your MyGate app and follow this, and all these documents are there. So with this, I think let's pass the first resolution, which is a procedural requirement to get the audited financial statements, the auditor's report, and the annual report approved by the general body. Okay? Sorry? All three are here. So we'll move this resolution. Can we pass by show of hands, please? If all of you approve, raise your hand. Camera, please capture that. Anybody? Okay. Do you want to count, or do we need to count, or it's unanimous? Oh, it's okay. It's okay. Okay, just go outside also and check. You can keep your hands down. Okay. Will do. You have the full balance sheet available. Yes. Okay. Sure. Okay. Just for the sake of completeness, anybody who does not approve, please show your hands. No? All right. So it's unanimous. Thank you for that. So that closes our first resolution. Okay, a lot of discussion have started already. So let's focus back. Okay. Now everything I have talked so far is about last year, FY 22-23. Now let's look ahead about the year ahead of us, 23-24. Okay, I mean, as you have seen, I have got some comparative statements. Many of us have lived through this. Most of you have probably heard of it. And for everybody here is for you to see it. Prior to the formation of association, our average camp with Shrachi used to be about 3.67 per square feet. Okay, oftentimes we miss that, oftentimes we don't remember it. Our memories are usually very short. But it's actually, we used to pay 3.67 per square feet, plus we had to pay the GST, 100% of the flats. Everybody used to pay GST, which is 18% on top of this 3.67, and nobody ever got any GST input credit from Shrachi because Shrachi was a business house, right? So with that backdrop, that is the amount that we were paying through the nose. And over the course of time, from 2019 to 2023, this is how our cost index have moved. Every year we have been coming and telling you our new budget, and we have been telling you how the cost has been increasing. If you put the cumulative cost increase over the last 4 years, it is actually about 20%. So a rupee in 2019 is equivalent of 1.2 rupees today, right? But with that, even with that 20% cost increase, here is the budget that we are proposing for the year ahead. Okay, like Mangalda said, we are still holding on to our last 4 years of CAM, which is 290. Okay, that is probably the first biggest thing that Rosedale, despite all of this, has not reduced the CAM in the last 4 years, and the 5th year, we are going to maintain that and hold that. What is important, you see the different buckets of budgeted costs that we have, but the way we are trying to keep the cost neutral is we have removed our contingency from this year. Till last year we had a contingency fund that was covering up, and I just told you guys that last year our cash flow position, we actually, our contingency also could not keep up with the increased cost. But this year we are removing the contingency completely, trying to manage the cost at 290. And what gives us the confidence is two things. One is our collection levels has improved quite significantly from prior years. People have gotten into the habit and the discipline of paying in time or near being time. And secondly, we have built some surpluses over the year of 50, 60, 70 lakhs, which we can use as a cushion. We did not have that money when we started. So hence the contingency was needed. Today we have it. That gives us the comfort that without a contingency we can still run the society without any impact. And third thing obviously is what you heard in the special general meeting. We are very, very optimistic now that we are going to recover money through our NCLT proceedings, and we will get our corpus, a big chunk of corpus back over time, and that will make us a bit more solvent than what we have been in the past. Yes.
Nice to hear that there is no contingency. Till the time we get back our corpus, my solution will be society as big as ours. We should have formally a contingency.
Sir, even good point. I mean, this is what we had discussed, but like I said, it's not like we don't have the money. We have about 60 lakhs.
How much is there in the balance sheet?
Yeah, so the balance sheet, you can open up the balance sheet and we can go through quickly if you want. But right now, I'll tell you that we have about 1.7 crores of fixed deposit that association has today. Okay? Now 1.7 crores may sound like a big number, but know that out of that 1.7 crores, about 65 lakhs worth of money is actually reduced to Shrachi that we have collected. So those are not our money. Here is the holding. Right? That is not our money, that is used to Shrachi private association that people have paid to us. Right? So 65 lakhs is for that. We are obviously earning interest on it, but the money is not ours. The second element of it we have to understand is, for us, our average cost per month is about 45 lakhs to run this campus. So we need that kind of working capital. Right? So if you take working capital, you cannot use that money saying, okay, I'll do whatever, spend it. So 45 lakhs out of that is the working capital. So if you take the 65 and 45 out, what you are left with is another 60 odd lakhs out of that 1.6 crore deposit, which is what we are considering as a cushion, as a contingency in the case of a rainy day that we can try to take it. Okay, so that is our position in a nutshell. Alright? So that is the reason we have the confidence now saying that without contingency, let us do it. Next year we'll be in a much better position to know how much money we have got, how much interest income we get, does our camp get benefited, do we have anything left to after some of the spending things that we are talking about, etc. But for this year, we keep it at 290. This is just a breakup. I don't expect you to read it. We'll send this out to you. You'll have the full name. But this is just a breakup of the 298. So with that, we'll move the next resolution, which is to approve the budget for 23-24. Fiscal year 23-24, where you keep the CAM at 298. Can you please, by show of hands, approve the budget? Camera, you got it out?
देयर इज नो उधर है ना ठीक है हाथ डाउन कर लीजिए
Okay, so
जस्ट एक
maybe
काउंट
we do the other way now. So everybody put your hands out. Anybody does not approve it, please raise your hand. Anybody does not approve, please raise your hand. Anybody outside?
ना देयर इज नो वन बट
Okay. All right. So it's unanimously passed. Thank you for that. So the first two resolutions are done. Here is the third resolution, which is also procedural. We have our external auditor who has been doing our external audit for last, I don't know how many years, 3-4 years from the beginning. Right? This is the fifth year. So we are requesting general body to consider and approve reappointment of Rohit Poddar, who is our external auditor for the next year. So if you can please, by show of hands, approve the motion. External auditor, Pankaj, class. Okay, break your hands down. Anybody who does not approve, please raise your hand. Nobody, so unanimous. Thank you for that. And now let us do the last of the procedural things before we get into the LG topic discussion, which is like Ramchandra said, Mr. Ratan Bhai, our acting member, is no longer with us. We need to fill that vacancy, and my understanding, correct me, Ramchandra, is that the Act now says that any replacements in the board of managers has to follow the same process as it was for the original election of the rest of the board members. So we are planning to appoint a returning officer like we had in the last election. We are going to use the CBSL platform, like the online polling platform, like we did in one. We may argue it's an overkill for just one position to fill, but nevertheless that's the Act and we have to go by that. So the recommendation is Advocate Diptan Kaur to be appointed as a returning officer who is part of the same team that conducted our last election. And then they will take that process over. So that is the resolution. If I can ask you to raise your hand and approve the motion. Okay.
How much does returning officer usually charge?
7,500.
7,500.
Okay. Bring out your hands. Anybody who does not approve it, please raise your hand. No. Okay. Thank you so much. So it's unanimous.
One point of this, once this is approved, the returning officer will start the process of election. He will intimate, he will ask for the nomination, and the process will continue. So basically, the election process will be handed over to Advocate for conducting the, and all the message, all communication will come from him, not from BOM. BOM will hand over the database of the owners, and that further communication will be done by him.
Okay. So with that, I think we come to our. We have covered all the procedural aspects. We did it in 30 minutes. Congratulations to all of you. We have never been able to do it in the past. So big round of applause. Okay. So now the interesting topic. Huh? And unanimous. Yeah. See, when people are able to hear, it's a lot easier, and see, it's a lot easier, isn't it? Unlike when we do it in the home. Okay, so with that we come to this important topic of converting our bulk HP to domestic individual entity. I'll ask Ranjunda to kind of cover the context. Here is now, like I said, extremely complex topic, but we have to make some important decisions.
See, quickly we'll go through the background. It's not that you are not aware of it. It's basically we have a single point HD 33 kV power supply. This was done at the instruction of Newtown Electricity Supply Board. For whatever reason, in 2007 they had asked for this bulk connection. But it happened only in two cases, Rosedale and Elita Vista. Elita Vista switched over to bulk. They are in the process of changing over to domestic, and we have to start this. Because basically, see what has happened, there is a guideline that is WBEREC, that is West Bengal Electricity Regulatory Authority. They sit above the electricity board and they decide the rate, they decide how the power should be given, at what rate, and all the formalities, instructions are by regulatory authority. Electricity Regulatory Commission, WBERC. According to their rules and guidelines, each domestic house should have only LT connection and not HD bulk and distributed by the association. It violates that guidelines. And so that is number 1 point. Number 2 point is the risk of maintaining the substation. Anything happens to the substation, it becomes our responsibility. And don't forget the Calcutta High Court order in one of the judgments in connected with a mall. The High Court has said this giving electricity to the other is basically sale of electricity and it will attract GST. So that way, whenever we go for recharge, someday it may GST authorities may come here and say pay us the GST. So that is a huge risk. That means our rate of 8 rupees 65 paisa, which is applicable today, straight away go up by 18%. And so this is one of these things. And so basically, if we convert it to LT domestic, it will regularize our whole electricity supply system. But it's not that simple. There are many things, and we have to spend money. So how this thing will go? We have spoken to Electricity Supply Board. They have agreed to take the substation, provided we augment the capacity. That means we have 2 transformers. Electricity Board is asking to put 1 more transformer as redundancy. And obviously, all cost of modification connected with this has to be borne by us. Electricity Board will also, over and above, will charge us a supervision charge. Okay? And so this is the part. That means, but last point connection, that means application to the board and security deposit has to be done by individuals. This is as per the GST condition. If you remember the general terms of sale, which was issued by RDPL, very clearly says that final connection, that is the application to board and making the security deposit, is responsibility of the particular flat owner. We have kept that here also. So owners have to pay for it. And obviously tariff will depend on the consumption. If the consumption is low, then the rate is less. Particularly if it is 300 units per month or less, then there is no excise electricity duty also. So there is substantial saving. And if you see your own bill, during winter, your power consumption is less, so you may get more benefit than in summer month. Then the other point is execution plan has to be matched with rate. These are the points which will come later. Okay. See, we we are talking of a cost of 8 crores. And we also wanted to tell you what is the change, and each change costs how much. One, as I said, one additional transformer with HT breaker, etc., which will cost about 70 lakhs. Then you have today you have the private prepaid electric meter, you will have electricity board supplied meter, and each individual will have to pay a rent of 10 rupees per month. Today also it is not free. Whenever you recharge, this prepaid meter fellow, he takes 15 rupees. So if you are recharging for 1000 rupees, 15 rupees goes to the recharge this meter company. Rest is actually, and that 15 rupees is paid by the association on behalf of the owners. Okay, so it is not actually extra, it is more or less natural, because quite often people make recharge more than once. And we will also have a system which will have full DG backup. Today we have a full 100% DG backup. In new system also we will have full DG backup. Now the changes come. Today what happens? The power from DG goes to substation, and then through a changeover switch, it comes to the individual board. This will not be possible, because if you see, DG power comes before our meter. If you see, that is at the in point of the meter. Now DG meter has to be, if we go with the electricity board, after electricity board meter. See, that is a major shift. Please understand this. Today, the DG power comes at the input of the meter. But electricity board will not accept that. They say, why should I charge you for DG that you are running? So it has to be after the meter. Up to the meter, it is the electricity board property. Only after the meter, the cable that becomes our property. But up to the meter, electricity board property, and within their property, they will not allow the DG connection. It has to be after that. So if we go for the individual changeover switch, which will be 614 switches, and all this cost will be about 1.62 crores. And also, now as I said, the DG power goes to substation only. Now the DG power will go to each tower, and we have to lay the thick cable which you have seen in the basement, the thick cables going over the cable tray. We have to put another set of cables, and that cost will be 50 lakhs. There will also be some LT panels for distribution of DG power to each tower, that is estimated as 75. See, this cost we have got from a contractor who does the electricity board work, this type of job. So we have asked him to give a preliminary quotation based on, so we can come with some number. These numbers may change something, but this is fairly good estimate. And then comes the this thing, DG power connection before meter, as I said, DG power connection after meter, that amount is there. Then electric, the other important point is today the meters are at each floor. Electricity board will not have anything of it. It has to be in the basement only, because up to the meter, it is the control or jurisdiction of electricity board. They are not ready to climb up the staircase. So we have to have a meter board in each tower accommodating all the flats. This electric meter at basement, including the meter board, will cost us almost 1 crore of rupees, 98 lakhs. Then comes the individual cables. From meter onwards, the cables are to be laid to the individual flat. This we have assumed 63 lakhs, but these cables we have decided to rate such that it can take the full load. To tell you basically what happens, today we have got so many AC. Now each flat is fully air conditioned, but we don't run all the ACs. But in a day when we have a gallery where all the ACs are running, maybe some of the geysers are also on, still the cable will be suitable to carry the full load. We have decided not to compromise because normally you don't need so thick cable, but we will provide this one so that the full, what is normally called the connected load, the cable will be suitable for the connected load. So that is 63 lakhs. And then obviously there will be some changes in the sense common area. See, each tower we have the lift, lobby light, we have the garden, and all other things, clubhouse light. These are supplied through 32 distribution meters. So that will remain same. Only thing, in place of our meters, it will be replaced by the electricity board meter. No change. Then fire pump, auto changeover, some small amount, WBACDCL supervision charge. Even if we do all the work, just for stamping, they will take some money. We have put something like 50 lakhs for that. Then installation, testing, etc. put together 20 lakhs. So roughly it comes 6.7, add 80% GST of it, and we come close to 8 crores. Okay? So this is the cost we have to bear if we go for entity connection. Over and above, deposit by individual flat owner, security deposit for connection. Okay? Next one. Pardon? Yeah.
Probably not, unless because we are not raising this money, unlike building renovation where we are.
It is not a question of raising. You are buying these materials either through you or through electricity company. Once you buy, you are being charged with the GST. The GST is for the
Well, what do you offset it for?
121. You are charging 18%, 121 crore. The GST will charge by you. And then that
121 crores is what the vendors are going to charge us.
I'm telling you, if they are going 121, so they will be getting GST credit there.
They will be getting.
What he means is it will become your input. This 121 is including
What is the corresponding amount that
you will
No, but why you not allow it?
Where is our
get the input?
Arunji?
I have a question.
Arunji, what about the GST? Can you answer? And also we have Mr. Madhukan Sarangi. You are the two brains on GST. See, both are sitting together and please help us answer this. We are the GST specialist.
हाँ बताइए क्या बोल रहे हैं?
Since 1.21 we are required to pay GST.
Correct.
Clear.
Right.
And then the vendor selling it, they will be taking the whatever the amount, 13% they will be charging to us. So we can negotiate with the vendor from that point of view, that whatever the GST is charged, and what from the receipt of the bill. That we will share with us with the one.
How they can share? Right.
See, I'm telling you, sometimes suppose you are buying something, say 1 crore, your GST will be 180. So once you take 180, then it becomes part of your cost.
Correct.
And then actually the result of 180 is your cost. As 180 is a KD. Include KD, you are adding this. So that KD must be gain. It cannot take more. So that may be that part will be negotiated with the vendors and we can get the price reduced. Say you are charging 180, I use the cash is 1 machine in your cost. Suppose you take 10%. So your 10% margin you will pay 118 plus 10%, say it will be about 130. So at that point of time, 118, what you are getting the KD, and you are taking your profit. That profit whatever you charge is your
How I cannot understand what you are saying, because whatever he will be selling to us, he has to bill it. Once he bills an invoice, it has to be invoice on 100 rupees plus 80 rupees, that is 118 rupees. We will get the credit, that is okay, but how we will utilize it, that is a question. Because it will be a too large a credit, how it will be utilized will be a real question. Because it will go on carrying forward and you will be utilizing it, but it will be utilized in very, very slow manner in in a progressive manner. Each and every month, whatever we have the liability to pay to GST, it can be utilized with that. It cannot, the vendor cannot adjust anything. If we ask vendor to adjust, it will be illegal.
No, not illegal.
100% illegal.
Suppose I'm not doing that.
Then
My point is that you are the vendor.
I am the vendor.
You
Yes.
purchase a material of 1 crore.
I am purchasing it.
Your purchase. Just
No, we are not giving one contract to anybody. He
Yes,
is,
you direct. Can be just 1 crore you purchase. You are one of the vendors.
yes,
1 crore you purchase.
I am purchasing.
You purchase the 1 crore.
Right.
You added, your supplier added to 18% to your GST.
Yes.
180 is there.
Right.
And then suppose you make, I'm just telling you, it is your choice how much profit you will make. But suppose you make it 10% profit.
Right.
180 plus 10, it comes about
No, nobody does that. No, today there is not such a scope. Nobody is there who can do this. Nobody in the world nowadays has a you as a professional can do it.
Maybe we will discuss and we will always find out some way to save on GST. That goes without saying. The question that is raised, and if you want to ask the rest of our GST experts, if required, we will take the opinion of experts, also GST experts in Calcutta, and see what best can be done. Yeah, good.
We have ideas that if you want to work with money.
Yeah.
So, again, 8 crores.
See, basically two, three things. One, regularize the system, take the hassle of your substation out of your head. If something happens to the substation, we are responsible, and getting a replacement of this heavy duty equipment is not possible. You know, one of the transformers has gone twice. That time load was less, and one transformer could take the full load. So this risk or anything happening to the transformer, including, I don't want to talk so much loudly, but our substation does not have fire protection. So all these hassles will pass on to electricity board, will be free. Plus, today whatever rate you are seeing, anytime it can go up by 18%. So recharge what we are paying can straight away be 18% more expensive any day, if it is asked by that. And as I said, Electricity Regulatory Commission, West Bengal Electricity Regulatory Commission, they, according to their guidelines, it is not at par. And message have been sent to Electricity Board, you regularize it. But what happened? When this message went, Electricity Board, you know how they put the responsibility on board of association. They said, okay, when the association for this complex is formed, they will take up the responsibility, giving clean sheet to RDBL. We have those documents, we have seen those correspondence. So Electricity Board has said, please switch over, but let it be done by the association. And association could not do it because we don't have this type of money. Today we are seeing money coming from NCLT resolution, and that is why we are talking. If that type of money was not coming, see, roughly it's about 18-20 crores. You take 7.5 crores, which you have to make up the corpus. After that corpus, you have some money. Will you use the money to resolve it? That is the question. And regularize it. Okay? This is the one.
So maybe Pomco, so there was a good question, somebody said what is the saving? So Pomco has done some analysis based on our current consumption over last few years.
Yeah. Yeah. So this was the question that everyone is
See, sure, but still today there is a breakdown, we have to take, you will get money. But then, if anything happens, Like recently there was one particular relay which was tripping. You remember one evening we had 5 or 6 tripping. Then it was found out that one particular relay is defective, and that was same. The relay, luckily for us, was not so expensive. But if you have expensive equipment, it is not only the money, they are not off-the-shelf items. Some of them are made to order. And if it is made to order, see, one advantage of electricity board, they have a huge inventory. They have so many spots. They will be able to pull out something from somewhere and install here and ensure supply. But for us, we have to buy directly from the vendor. And if it is not stock, it may take time.
Hey, one more thing is that this was a question in everybody's mind when we started evaluating these proposals. We're saying it's a lot of money, 8 crore rupees, and what the individual gain. So we did a little bit of analysis to figure out, as an individual, in the residents, are we gaining anything financially? So what you are seeing here right now, it's a consumption pattern. The unit consumed by all individuals, all of us. Okay, so that is the pattern. And if you can see, in the winter months, the consumption is pretty low, and the summer months, the consumption goes quite high. So we have a list. If any of you is interested to know how much units each consume, we have the names. All the residents are over here, so we should be able to we'll be able to bring it down and give you the units consumed by your unit. So I just take someone like our to take yours or mine. Okay, so let's I think that's a good question. I have some data from let's pick up.
goes with the
Which one? Any volunteer?
His wife is not in Brazil. I was asking her that.
There is no data for you. I volunteered myself. So surprisingly, it looks like I consumed almost identical electricity every month. So that's interesting. But I have to really look at the data. Okay. Rajendra, should I go for yours? Joy is the perfect representation how the data should look like, unless our consumption pattern is very different. You see that Joy, it's winter months it's pretty low and summer months goes up. So this is the typical pattern for each of us. And now you see the consumption goes as low as somewhere around now 200 units. Okay, and in the winter summer month it goes to 1,000 plus. So this is a huge difference, and that's pretty much regular.
We will change our air conditions.
Yeah, exactly. It's a lot of interesting data will come out. Now the thing is that now the question is, what is interesting when you change from HT, what we are today, from LT, how the change of units actually impacts you. If you see the curve below, the lighter the blue is actually represents that HT, what we are paying today, and the darker one will be the LT, right? So, but the LT rates are, varying, right? In different consumptions, different consumption pattern, you pay different rates, right? But if you see, so at a lower, if your consumptions are low or less, then you get slight gain with the LT, okay? But as you go up, somewhere around like, if your consumption is somewhere around like 1100, that's how it breaks even. After that, if your consumption is below that, then what happens that LT you will be end up paying more than HT, but like about 95% of all the residents, we do not consume more than like 1100 or 1200. So that means like there will be a minor gain, whatever it is, it's a very minimal gain, but we will be saving some amount with the LP conversion. Okay, so
This is one
Why you're spending so much of money for?
just one question.
So I just want to know, does the electricity board give us the option to retain the present system?
It will not be possible.
Yeah, I think
It
so.
will not be possible. It will be either, so there will be one particular day, when the switchover will take place.
Right.
From bulk to, maybe it will be done tower by tower, but it cannot, I'll come to that, because first of all, there will be no power to the bus system. We have a slide to explain that. But either or is not possible.
We have no
either
option like this. We have no option.
No.
We have no first.
No, because see, first of all, the substation will be taken over.
Yeah.
Substation will be taken over by electricity board. It will no more be property of Rosedale. Yeah, please.
So what is the point? How much? What is the cost effectiveness if we switch over? If we don't gain much, then what is the cost effectiveness of this intervention?
That data potential. Just
There's a difference.
Madam, you cannot retain the present system. Yeah, it is to the
When the electricity department changes, will they do it at their cost or
look at this one screen. Excuse me. Now look at this screen. See what happens. We have taken these different cases when the consumption in a month is like this, 275. I have kept it specifically below 300, where the electricity duty is 0. And in that case, the rate comes to 6 rupees 29 paisa. What happens? You pay for the energy charge, and energy charge are okay. Energy charges changes like let people understand that. See, like if it is the first 102 units, the rate is only 5 rupees 4 paisa. Next 78 units, it is 6 rupees 33 paisa. This is the applicable rate as of today. And then it goes up above 900, it is 9 rupees 22 paisa. So this is the energy. And over that, you have to pay a demand charge. Here we have assumed a demand charge of, I think, 10 kilowatts, and that's where it's coming. 30 rupees is the demand charge, and meter rate is 15. These are all in paisa. And please go down. Go down? Yeah. Okay. So then the rate comes to 629. If we are at 400 unit, then it is 739. Okay, against 865 as we are paying. As we go up, it goes high. So,
as the analysis you have done.
This is very specific.
1100.
When we switch over to when you switch over to domestic one, so whether the common area electricity will also be under that?
Yes.
Yeah, that may give us some kind of benefit.
That may be more expensive.
So, my question is, since we have already planned or budgeted for almost 8 crore rupees to be converted into low LT connection, and we have also understood that there will not be major change in the savings as per se. It is more or less the same. Have we also evaluated getting into any other source of energy, say solar energy or anything where we can spend? Is there any apple to apple comparison?
See, on solar energy, we have seen, unfortunately, our roofs are not suitable for solar energy because we have the pergola. Pergola cannot support the solar energy. You have one option of removing the pergola, but that is a very harsh decision. It's part of Rosedale uniqueness. But what you have is the rooftop of this clubhouse and executive tower and senior citizen. All put together, it was done by Saurabh Bang, and what Saurabh told me, it is not even 150 kilowatt. And so 150 kilowatt is nothing. That will not meet our even the common necessity. Maybe we can go for this, that what is there, but what happened, there are agencies who run the solar unit and sell, but they are not willing to come to the housing society. They say, आज आप लोग हैं, next election आप लोग नहीं रहेंगे, दूसरा कोई आएगा, and there will be dispute, so we don't want to do. So anyway, this is another we have considered, but this is too small amount to be considered for this conversion purpose. Actually, there was another question someone asked.
These are the units at the top, and these are the final rates at the bottom.
Yeah. So if you are consuming 400, then it will be 739. It will be 600, 779. And you see, as the consumption goes up, the difference between 865 and this goes. But you may also consider GST on that. And this one at this, it is almost there, and at 1200, it is 865, matching with today's level.
I think we are going into the saving and financial. Okay, I think you can explain one more time that we are living with a big great risk of having our own transformer. People who are going to stay here, people who are investors or planning to move out of this place, for them it may not be important. People who are going to make this home for a long time, for a long time, for them this is a very risky thing. If something will happen, right now, you have to run the generator for how many days, you don't know. Whether the generator will be able to provide power supply for 3 weeks, 4 weeks, before somebody will come from Pune or you will carry this transformer to Pune to repair, it's a big risk. So it is better to go for government provided electric supply. Second thing, today the way electricity is provided, I don't think 100%, I'm not saying anything that some cheating or something going on, but anybody can have a doubt whether exactly what I am paying, I am getting consumption, whether whatever has been charged to be through CAN, whether it has been, there will be total audit rate. If I have my own meter, the association have separate meter.
So in this regard, I would like to put one question. Not one question, one clarification. What we are comparing is the unit rate as it is. But it is certain that if we have to, we do not switch, the GST will come and our rate itself will go by 18%. And then we have to compare it, whatever rate we are paying, say 8 rupees 55 paisa plus 18%, and then we have to compare with the rate what we have to pay on LP.
So we have around 400 units per month consumption on an average.
Then we are saving as it is. Then we are saving as it is.
Yeah, so what I'm saying is for say 4,050 to 400 units per month average consumption household. I think average saving will be 30% after switch. Which means you you will probably save 12 to 15,000 rupees per year per house.
That is true.
If you consider that we have to pay the GST
Yes.
going forward. So that is, nota level pe that is what we have done.
That is true.
1,000 per month. I had for one, it was easy process to validate this estimate against some other consultant or Elita or some other. I mean, if we have a single source for this estimate of 8 crores, is it possible to validate this against?
See, as I said, it is a preliminary. Now, any project, you start with the ballpark figure. This is a ballpark figure.
Only for
But see, the point is, unless we have the approval from the general body, how do we go forward? The general body should agree, and then only, obviously, there will be tenders, there will be at least 3 or 4 quotations, and then only things are valid. But for that also, we have to complete the engineering, we have to complete the specification, BOQ, and then float tender. All this is lengthy process. It will not be solved in one day. But this can be basically only when the general body approves. Today we are at the entry approval stage. Okay, and for the approval purpose, this cost is good enough. It may change plus minus, but that will be, as you know, for any project, the retailing cost is different. This is not a detailed.
Sir, thank you. So we have a very good idea that the cost is going to be to our favor. And there are 2 other questions. There is a risk reason and there is it essential to do it? If it is essential to do it, it is statutory requirement that you have shift to it, then there is really nothing much to talk except it has to be done how best it can be done. If it is not, then we may spend some kind of investing time and understanding how mitigation of risk can occur. And if that can be resolved cheaper. But if it is essential to change, we won't look at the risk.
See,
So conceptually,
I understood that. See, as I said, there is a letter which WPEREC has given to board, electricity board, instructing that to change over. And that is the time electricity board, they smartly put the responsibility on association. I can share that.
if it has to be done, then there is factor not there. Then it is only gonna be to karna. How they can
What I think the risk
Just wanted to add one more point. Why it is necessary to be done? Because if you really go by law, Indian Electricity Act does not allow sale of energy unless you have got a requisite permission. We don't have any requisite permission. It's something like Rosedale has been done and this process is going on. But if at all we sell energy, then we definitely have to charge GST. So if it is legalized also by some way that we get into this, by some consideration, we still have to charge GST.
Can we say 8 crore?
No.
Possibly 18%.
What is the assumption that you are going to get a concession agreement? You are not an authorized body. Indian Electricity Act says it's illegal to sell power.
I'm saying don't talk 18%. Say it is 18%.
No, that is what I am saying. First of all,
we are totally confused about 2 issues, and I'm trying to support the fact that if it is a compliance, then why are we taking that?
this is compliance. Compliance is not here.
Go ahead. What is the
I hope all of you have grown in our
One clarification.
One clarification. I just want to make one suggestion that we should also incorporate a plan. Since now the cars are changing to electric, so in that plan itself, if we can, the thing of providing See, yes, I agree. But today what has happened, there are 3 electric cars already in the society, and in all of the cases, the meter has been provided by the car company. So each recharge is monitored. At the end of the month, we charge him for the electricity consumed. We did not have, but once you change to NT, that will be there. That's okay, then it will be still selling of electricity.
Yes.
We have to address that. Sorry, I don't have an answer. You said something, maybe I don't know.
Maybe I was thinking, like, just keep it right. Just keep that in perspective.
Okay, we'll say that. And
Because coming before my what many cars are doing.
But if you have a plan to switch over to EV, please go ahead. We'll take care.
For common area, will there be a commercial rates applied after we convert to SD, or it will be the same rate, like, and how huge the impact we are seeing, because it will be like concept.
We will get it again, cross-check with electricity, but most probably will be domestic, because we are not selling, it is still domestic. But we will get
But we should get one domestic only, because they having their retail supply there. And what we are getting today, for our common supply, they will give us the bulk domestic only. That is always possible. So the rate for the common area will remain same, should remain same. That is the one option.
Calm down and wait. Lot of promotion.
Actually, once it's a compliance issue, we agree that we have to go ahead. So the issue all against the government from the and we all discuss. Then I thought about calculating the impact on us. Like, do we have to bear the entire thing or something will come from corpus and so that?
Planning or we are proposing will come from the recovery that will get from NCA.
So nothing technical is free, because when I look at it, I say 8 crores of hours, we need to decide where to spend. Right. Are we going to spend it on electricity? Are we going to
Thank you so much.
This is the one slab we have discussed. We have placed in one slide where we have already covered at this point the pros and cons, because when we discuss, we discuss everything. The pros and cons is that this system and which is not in the line with WERC guidelines. So there can be regulatory issues later. and we are the only one society. Moreover, see, in number of occasions, we have asked for LT connection. Many issues, many even elections were fought on that point. So this is also meeting one of the wish of Rosedale. That is second. And there will be some saving, obviously, we have discussed, and the risk of GST and peace of mind, the substation as we discussed, is no more association headache. But what are the cons? Frankly, the bus bar system is a better system than the cable. We tried our best to retain the bus bar, but because see, bus bar has no cable, it is more fire safe, more reliable. But electricity board had nothing to do with it. Every society has cable. What is your problem? You also switch over to cable. They refused to accept. We had suggested that allow us the cable, bus bar, and make the connection each flow like what we have today. They refused. One of the reasons also we can understand, if the bus bar is there is a possibility of tapping. See, they have to make sure that there is no tapping. Electricity chori is very common in India. You know, recently 3 persons died because they were hooking the electricity. What used here is hooking. They are trying to hook, and in the process 3 persons died. We all read it. So because of that reason, and also this one, so they said no. So this LT bus, see, existing bus, we have to follow. That we have to spend money, as we said, and common area charges may go up. Like as I said, about 900 units in a month, the rate is high. But whatever is whatever, that's this.
Yeah, thank you, Rajendra. I think you should cover the last point, which we have seen this. Yes, sir.
I would like to seek one more clarification. I just heard from some other source that after about a year, there will be some smart metering system introduced by the electricity department. Not far away, about a year after, maybe 2 years maximum. In that case, we will continue to have our own same prepaid kind of system inside our home. So, can we wait for about a year or so? And possibly, this boss bar, what technology we have bought at this moment, it is very advanced technology. And they may allow in future that yes, we can go with it.
Yes,
so that we can save this 8 crores.
See, this smart meter aspect we discussed. Apparently, Government of India, not West Bengal, Government of India has a target of converting each and every electric meter to smart meter in 5 years. But when this 5 year will complete, we don't know. Smart meter is basically for load management. You know, the data goes to the system and they can monitor exactly who is drawing more power. That is for load management and not for our type of purpose. Like the chances of pilferage and all will not be stopped by smart meter. And what they said in West Bengal right now, they are providing smart meter for commercial and government offices. So far there is no instruction to put smart meter in residential. And this guy who I was speaking to, he says it has nothing to do with your choice. When government tells us to put the smart meter, I will come, remove your old meter and put the smart meter. Today we have a choice of prepaid and postpaid. The same situation will continue also with smart meter. So smart meter, according to the electricity board gentleman who I spoke to, he said it's not your choice. When the meter comes, so I said today if I ask, will you give me smart meter? He says no, I will not give you smart meter. This will come from the government instruction and sort of populate this area with smart meter. Smart meters will come, we will install. Whether you like it that time, you may like, you may not like, it's not your choice.
Is there any other question?
Sir?
Yeah, my question is about anyone consuming 1,000 units per month will not have any benefit in terms of electricity.
No, but you remember, see, even if you are consuming 1,000, you may be consuming 2 or 3 months of a year.
Yeah.
rest of the time you will get benefit. So if you see the 12 months, overall there will be benefit. That's what our calculation shows. It will not be substantial, it will not be justifying the 8 crores investment, but there will be saving.
But there will be a GST benefit eventually.
Yes.
GST.
If the GST kicks in, today we are not doing that. If GST comes in and our prevailing rates have an 18% markup for GST, then whatever the charge is, it will be savings for everybody.
Yeah, see, GST and all, we don't want to talk so loudly, like they say, no, let the sleeping dog lie. The GST, let it lie. Let us not talk so much, so GST guys realize it and they come jumping on us. So let the GST
I have a
lie.
question, please. If the smart meter comes in, let's say 2 or 3 years down the line, and they say whether you like it or not, you have to adopt it. That means this 8 crore goes for a toss and we can...
No. See, meter is not our property. We pay a rent of 10 rupees per month. So that rent will continue. Since meter is not, even now, if once we go for 80 meter, we will not be purchasing the meter. Meter will be issued by electricity board and they will charge a rent. The rent system will continue.
So, I have one question. Why can't we wait for a few more years and see if GST is being imposed? Then we can convert it. I mean, why should we?
I think these are the considerations we need to apply. See, we have waited for 3 years, 4 years. We didn't have a choice until the first 4 years. We didn't have the money. Even if everybody wanted to have it, we still couldn't afford it. Who would give the 8 crores? Today we have a line of sight of getting that money somewhere. Now we have an option to even think of it. And all these suggestions saying, today people are not accepting our current infrastructure. The authorities have not accepted our current infrastructure. They are asking us to change. They are saying it's not. There is no smart meter at this point. Whenever they want, they will change. Nobody has a crystal ball. We have not seen tomorrow, a year from now, 2 years from now. Will some of these things change? But our system becomes standard, who knows? But the point is, we are living with that headache right now. And that is where I think it's coming from. And we have all by now discussed saying the financial gain. If you look at it, that's why we want to be very transparent with pros and cons that individuals may have some savings, but remember your common area cost is going to go up and will pay it. So it will probably offset. Right? So financially speaking, it's not a great business case for us that I spend 8 crores, which obviously in today's interest rate you can make a lot of money anywhere, which could go into cap reduction. Right? But the point is financially the business case of the so it's that 18% threat that if it gets imposed on us,
plus interest plus penalty.
Plus
interest plus penalty.
So I come to the penalty separately.
No, but why do we have to pay penalty? Why do we have to pay penalty?
Yes, because you have not paid GST. They don't have anything to do with the electricity board what they have asked for.
Alright, so with this, hopefully this gives you, I think on the point of penalty, there is a footnote at the bottom. Please read that carefully. Rajendra said, let's not talk too long about GST.
Let's keep that.
Right? But this is something, regardless of whether we stay with what we have or we go to what we have, retrospective risk we are carrying as an association.
It will only get longer if you wait.
It will only get prolonged. It will only get, when you are in the hole, stop digging the hole. That is the piece. Right? You are not getting out of the hole. Okay.
Individual meter, where they will be placed.
Individual meter कहाँ लगाने?
Basement. In the basement, we have seen the place. There will be 86 meters which will be installed in the basement.
Okay.
So, if you see the system, there are 2 ducts through which the busbar goes. One duct supplies power to 36 flats. I am talking of the 6 towers. Executive tower setup is little different. But in the main duct, there are 2 ducts. One side it is 50, supplying power to 50 flats, another 36. So in that, what will happen? The bus has to be taken out and the 36 cables have to be put in.
I ask this question because that may involve a little, security angle of fire safety and all that. So I think that needs to be looked into and maybe considered.
So basically, this first of all, electricity board will check, they will inspect, and only if they are satisfied with the location, they will approve. But if that also needs fire safety clearance, we will take fire safety also.
That's what.
So, but whatever we do, we cannot do of our own unless it is approved by the board. Because they will be putting the meter. So what we have to do, we have to make a board on which the meter will be fitted, the changeover switch will be fitted, and a MCB also will be fitted. There will be 3 components, and it will have a normal enclosure and all these things which any meter has. And if you see, it is the same arrangement in any high-rise building. It will not be different.
All right, very good. So, like I told you, gave you fair warning.
Service to the switchover.
Huh?
For switching over to
all of that needs to be planned, right? Okay. Let's not get into too much technicality.
See, what will happen? We have to make some arrangement. We have spoken to some of the contractors who have done this job. I have also spoken to the contractor who has done the job in Elita Vista. You know, Elita Vista also has the same issue. They had the bulk supply and they had to switch over. 16 towers were in bulk supply. They had taken 4 towers at a time and they changed over. And how this is a matter of detailing, I think not everybody will be interested, but we have discussed the process. The idea is least disturbance. So there will be a changeover, but we will like to restrict the changeover when there is no power to few hours only. Whether the few hours will be 1 hour or 4 hours, today I cannot say. But if we proceed, we will plan in such a way that it will be few hours of changeover only. That is why not all towers will be taken up. 1 tower will be taken up. This will be on LT supply. Rest will continue. Next one will be taken up. That is why I said it will be 1 year, because each changeover may take 2 to 3 weeks. So you have 7-8 changeover.
Okay, very good. So I gave you fair warning. It's a detailed technical topic. Hopefully you are now getting some appreciation of that. With this, let's come to the resolution. Now we need to take some decisions around the general body. Unlike the prior ones where we did it only by show of hands, I think this is a large enough project. This will be definitely the largest. Building repair was 2-3 crores a year. So our thought was that we would like to get a sense check through the larger majority beyond the handful that showed up here. So the
larger majority, smaller majority does not mean anything. When AGM is there, it is a
no, we are not talking technically, sir. We are saying that this is such a big spend. We are asking, say, can we do this through online poll where more people in the room can participate in that and voice their opinion?
That is not required.
That is not required. It is not required. What is the general body meeting? No, technically we are compliant. If we close this year. So the motion we are putting forward, please, as general body tell us for this group saying that no, let's not do this. Let's decide here and move on. That's also a fine outcome, right? It is not technical question that we are asking.
And in the survey, if it is other way, did everybody say no, we do not want to go for that? No. They have not the clarity. You cannot go.
Agenda was there, right? Everybody has gone through that. If somebody thinks that it is a very significant, they have to read it. And that the decision has to be taken here. That's what. So that you know, majority.
Please read the motion.
There is no motion. What you say that is majority. The mathematics for larger majority is equal majority is always majority. It is like what after it feels low tomorrow, if technical problem is there, you can change anything. It's not like anything.
So basically we are asking this assembly to authorize. If you think the authorization का जरूरत नहीं है, then we will.
Yes, sir. Then we need to burn down this machine. ये मेरे बात छोड़ दीजिए. फोन करके नहीं क्या? मेरे जो अभी जो
Otherwise, you are not meeting the motion. The motion that we are taking is we are asking the present general body to authorize you have to conduct an online poll, get greater thing, and please sit up, listen. Please listen. Nobody is taking your rights away to say. First, understand what is being proposed. What is being proposed is for people in attendance today to authorize board of managers to conduct a larger opinion poll, and then in that opinion poll ask this question to get a larger sense, and accordingly make the decision based on that majority. If you, all of you have the right here to say no, we should not be done. We should decide it here. You should say that by denying this, and then we will do it by
This is technically wrong. Because if we have a compulsion to go for this, so if and your survey says no, you should not go for that. So what is going to be this time?
Because later when people will have to pay for the meters, they will say we were not informed, or I don't agree with it, and that's where the whole problem is going to start.
Let's not undermine the fact that for 4 years we are doing this. It's not coming a new deal.
The owners, listen, the owners have elected you, and you have demonstrated resolution, and AGM is happening. We are also owners, we are going to vote for this. There is no point now. You are the elected body. You can put set any resolution in motion, and we can either vote for it or we can.
You also realize a good amount of asset we are handing over that we cannot do without the approval of general body. See, you realize this also. See, we have a asset substation. This tomorrow will be handed over to the will be their property. And for this also we need general body's permission. This is in the act. This type of thing only general body can do. So that's why we are asking general body.
To me, last few minutes and maybe you have explained very nicely what is the risk associated, what is the long-term benefit here. It is in the benefit of ours, not only benefit of money, but in the long-term benefit. Now, question is that who are we? We are the owners here. We think that this is really good for us. You have brought that one, this proposal to us. We appreciate it. Now, question is that after getting that all the discussions here, we know what you are going to do. You say the whole, right? How the person, he will be just calculating the plus minus 1 paisa over 1 paisa niche. He will not be able to understand me. My question is that our presence, that's it. We feel like that it is okay. We say yes, okay, go ahead. Whoever doesn't come here, let them ask questions. The answer will be given. If he comes face to face, that's it. Finish it. Can I go? Wait for you. Please listen to them.
My question is, my question is, when we have no option but to have this empty system, there is no need of an online call.
See, this is the view we are trying to get, because it's a huge amount.
Because we have no option.
My opinion, board of managers is a trustee. First, remember that board of managers is a trustee. And trustee of all 614 presidents. Whatever we decide, that has to be taken seriously. It's a substantial amount. It
all the people decided all across the globe. It is not that what we decide here, because it involves payment of additional amount of money from all the people from the pictures and everything, incentives that go to each and every door, all the people.
I will add on to say that this is the Supreme Authority. Board the appointed and so the Supreme Authority, they can take whatever decisions they want to take. It is not here to go to global. If they go to global, we cannot call them. Can't wait. What is not required? I tell you, this meeting is a Supreme Authority. Whatever decision is being taken, that will go. Thank you.
Yeah. And another, extending the same point, the most important issue is here. We are setting up a precedent. If this is a precedent being set today, every decision will not have to go to the organization. And if that we are ready, fine.
But there is one issue. You are talking about setting a precedent. You have already set the precedent when you did online polling for elections. You have already set the precedent when you did online polling because you are an NRI society and you are not you cannot ignore that. If you do that, you are going back on precedent. Precedent is not today. So everything is like that discussion. My request is
everybody will get a turn to say, but please hear what others have to say also. Which may be the same or different.
My request is, why don't we split this decision into two parts? Today we give the in-principle approval to go ahead with this, but as the amount is to use, we have an SGPM, and then we decide to take a call on the financials. Today we give the in-principle approval, okay, you have to go ahead with this, but amount is so used. Let everybody have a study of this and then take approval on the amount. Amount is to use. Today we cannot take a call. Let everybody know that you are conducting an SGPM for this particular purpose of 8 crore rupees. You call an SGPM for that. Today you take a in-principle approval.
Captain Santanu, just to reply, see, it does not mean we will get a contractor and implement. When we have a firm offer, when we have the proper specification, we will again come back and we will say, this is the party we are recommending for execution. But today it has to be for the execution. See, when we go to electricity board, what do I say? We have to make an application. What do I say there? We have to say that we want to convert. That means we are expressing our willingness to change over. So that is required. But the other thing is what you are saying, that before the contract is placed for the 8 crores, get approval, yes, sure. Yes. We will also present the credential of the party. You may very well ask what is the credential, why you are placing order, what job they have done. All these are very valid questions. It has to be answered. We have to get at least 3 quotations. All these things will be placed. So that is, will come. Okay?
Rajendra, bottom line is this is mandatory, right? We don't have an alternative, correct? It has to be done sooner or later. Since we're getting money, we're going in for it right now. So a poll for this actually makes no sense, right? This is mandatory, we are doing it. We can do one thing, we can inform all the NRIs and the later steps where the money is concerned, the nitty-gritties are concerned, then we take a call, but this is mandatory and we need later on, God forbid, when this bomb goes and someone else comes, or this bomb is still there, and then 18% that the retrospective gives us, nobody is going to leave this bomb. They're going to say, why did you all insist? Right? So, this is compulsory, this is mandatory.
It's not mandatory.
It's not mandatory.
First of all, it is not mandatory.
No, what he is.
Can we please not write this debate? You have made your point.
I have one question. the main concern is the money. We need to have 8 crore first for expenses. Then we can start the work. How can we commit now?
So I think clearly the house is divided. Now there are few things we need to add. Please keep me honest when I say this. There is a feeling here saying that is it mandatory, yes or no? There is no authority to tell you that. This is our views we are stating based on the analysis that the teams have done, the experience of maintaining this over the last 4 years, and what we are hearing, like Rajendra said, there is a case against somehow or something. There is transformational failures that happen from time to time and what we have to go through. So please don't take anything as this is gospel, Bible, rule of the law. When you say mandatory, we as general body have to decide, do we believe this is mandatory for us to proceed? We are, think of it, for the last 4 years we are running without it. And so what is mandatory? Now, with this, it is a problem for us. So this is a general body call.
Giving this all of binoculars on our head.
Yes, we had it for the last 4 years, we'll have it going forward. Now,
so we could think. Today we kind of approach it.
Exactly. So we all have to exercise our. See, what I don't want is anybody to go in and say that, oh, you have said it is mandatory, and now I have 5 reasons why it's not mandatory.
George, the word mandatory, keep it away. But question is that if somebody, if somebody is watching that for the long time we have been doing unsafe work, unsafe action, should we continue after knowing the things that this is unsafe, this is not good, this is risk associated? Are you to continue for the long time? No. The moment I will notice it, I have to arrest it, I have to stop it, and I have to go further away, which is safer for everybody. Question comes that he says the mandatory word. Why everybody is saying mandatory word? What for me? See, he wants to say, he wants to emphasize why it is required for us. That's it.
And my simple point is, let's apply our judgment on that and come up with a view, because whatever we come up with is our stand. That is the
how to mitigate it. Furthermore, transformers. It will not cost you extra. Put insurance against transformers. So there are other ways to please don't take it personally. Once it's not mandatory, then we need to understand what other way to address the risk which you are taking. So just who will decide? We have to decide. We will have to decide. Somebody did a study to say we should shift to LD. Somebody has to do a study to understand how to mitigate the risk. The risk which we feel. If we feel to transport down, no. I have one and five different space. So how to mitigate risk? I have each AC running for 4 hours. Similarly, you have 2 equal, but 4 transformers will not cost you 8 crores. Make a study. If that study doesn't stand, we do it. No problem. But mandatory is a very big word. Who doesn't you say, I know it needs to be done and it's free? The decision is different. I know it's not necessary and it may cost much less.
Here, mandatory means actually.
I meant necessary. I meant necessary. I meant necessary.
One last point. It is essential to address it. Agreed? Essential to address it. Is it the best way to address it?
Yeah.
That's a different point. I have only covered that point. I want listen. Is this so everybody has a different opinion? Everybody has a different opinion. Mr. Kamla said a very valid point. It's not necessary. It's a regulatory. But the thing, everybody has their own opinion, right? So, Mr. Kamla, what a very nice point, right? You can use that money, 8 crore, and build a beautiful world-class infrastructure, and you don't need that WCCL infrastructure anymore, right? So, people will see from many different points. So, what we are asking here is, let's not these people decide the fate of the entire infrastructure. Let everybody have their express opinion.
read out one letter which the new town electricity supply company. That time it was not under this. It was a joint venture between WBSCDCL and HITCO. And later it was merged with WBSCDCL. So we are directly under that. So what it says, this is a letter dated 16 November 2016. It was marked to Rosedale developers. So what I said, dear sir, etc., the secretary, WBERC, by this letter number such and such, requested us to arrange for providing service connection to each resident in the complex as per provisions of the Act and the regulations of this commission as communicated via letter number 2014 such and such. So that means WERC has instructed it is to be converted as per provisions of the Act and regulations. Now tomorrow WBRTC can ask us directly. And then what we do? See, we can always go to court, we can challenge and all these things. Do you want to take that one or do you regularize it?
Sometimes you think, if there's a letter, there's nothing to do, is correct.
Can I just sum it up then? Like I've been hearing both sides. I think most of us initially were in favor of going, because we understood that's a mandatory or necessary, whatever the word is. Then there was another point very rightly mentioned by Dondra, and I'm happy that she raised it, that maybe after this bomb is not here, even if this bomb continues, there could be a separate set of people who start questioning on what decisions the decision was taken. And we have seen enough mudslinging. I've been new to this society, I've seen enough of this mudslinging in the last 2 years. So in principle, but again, if it's an AGM, the decision has to be taken over here. That is something which should be done. Which Mr. Agarwal also was saying, Mr. Taman also was saying, let me just give you another minute or so. So in that case, if majority of us, what I understand still wants that we should go ahead and regularize. So why don't we just in a piece of paper sign over here, today all who are standing for this, that we want to regularize, and maybe a couple of them who don't want. And in case when the mudslinging starts, this list to be published, there are so many who are present in this meeting, and they showed in faith that we should regularize it.
No, I didn't say mudslinging. Going up correction, I didn't say mudslinging.
No, you didn't say I said it.
No, I didn't say that at all. What I was saying is, if the 18% GST kicks in, then this bomb or whoever comes is going to be answerable.
No, not only 18%. Either way, there is a risk. Your point was 18% risk. I'm saying other way. This collapses. Tomorrow we are at risk. So either way, the bomb will be blamed. John, you will be blamed either way. If you don't do it, why did you do it? If you do it, why?
So allow me to say something.
I will do it and get prepared.
So, you have something to say?
I'm saying today if something happens and we don't get power, आप ज़्यादा से ज़्यादा रंजन बासु के घर के सामने धरना दे दोगे, उसको गिराफ कर लोगे। रंजन बासु हो सकता है रिजाइन कर देगा, लेकिन अगर वेस्ट बंगाल गवर्नमेंट का कुछ टूट जाए ना, आप जाके विश्वबंगा गेट के वहाँ पे रोड ब्लॉक कर दोगे, चीफ मिनिस्टर भी आ जाएगा आपका प्रॉब्लम सॉल्व करने के लिए। This is the simple thing I'm saying.
There are a lot of things. I will tell you what the problem is.
Sir, एक मिनट.
We are bringing certain information. General people living here are not privy to the information. So occasionally we need to make a presentation or some sort of thing. Locate party, we can put it under the door. Leaflet or whatever, saying that if this happens, you will be without power for 1 month. If it doesn't happen, you may have power, but GST may keep, whatever it is. Any kind of regulatory risk,
All this is shown here, right?
We should make a public communication.
What we will do, the presentation will circulate it will go as a email to each and every owner.
It is a very simple thing. Meetings have been chaotic and time consuming. If there is an issue, send a brief to everyone so that he knows the issue perfectly and then come prepared accordingly whatever he has to see. You put up a resolution and people know nothing about the matter कि क्या है. जैसे conversion है, why it is the one question which everybody is asking, whether it is mandatory or necessary. If it is necessary, you have to comply with the law. There is no option. Then there is nothing you can do. You have to go ahead with it. One. Second, if it is not mandatory or necessary, in that case, what are the other options available and what are the cost implications and all? This August House has a right to know what is this thing. Yes. Third thing which you are saying is online voting, which the association has resisted vehemently on earlier occasion. Is it going to be a mandate for the future also if the people ask on the online voting? Sir, now these three issues are there, very simple. We are creating confusion.
I think, sir, with due respect, we are trying to hear everybody's view. Just like you had a view, everybody else has their view. We need to allow them to speak.
No, it's not. First is, if it is mandatory, what is the option with you? Tell me, if it's mandated by the law, what is the option with you? Do you have any option? No. So, if you have to put on a helmet, you have to put on a helmet. Otherwise, challan is there. Simple. Then you are violating the law, you are taking the risk of violating the law for which the punishment is there. Why the society or the resident should be punished? So it is the bonding duty of the association to protect the resident as well as to themselves against the law. Is it right or not? Then in that case, it should be mandatory है भैया करना पड़ेगा तो उसका जो है सेकंड पे आ जाइए अगर नहीं करना है या और ये सेफ्टी के लिए what are अगर necessary है फिर तो करना ही जो भी उसमें करने का अगर नहीं है what are the options available and what we are going to do भैया ये ऑप्शन है इसमें से आप बताइए क्या करना है हम बता देंगे simple thing put up the option then accordingly it will be decided. The third critical issue which you are raising by this resolution is online voting, which the association on earlier occasion has vehemently opposed. So if it becomes a norm, then in other resolution, just sir, listen to me. In that case, is it going to be a norm for the future also for resolution to vote online?
So, can I answer your last question, sir?
Simple question.
I think, please hear if you are asking question, please hear the answer. Right? The last question you are saying, this is the first time an association is opposed. I can give you 10 such examples of resolutions that association has done online in the past. If that helps. I will give you because I have been in that. No, I'm not sure you were there or not, but it has happened. So please, let's not make blankets.
No, in the election it was opposed. That is why it was one of the critical issues.
We were the guys who were fighting for online voting. It does not. Unless AGM says that go online. Unless AGM says go online, there is no need for going online. It's as simple as that. The ask is very simple here. I think we are getting very complicated.
Let me move the resolution now. Let me say AGM does not allow move the approve. We cannot go online. I think move the resolution now.
You have to say don't go online. We decide here. We are ready for the resolution. Yes, sir. Okay. So let me repeat the resolution. Everybody please pay attention. Please pay attention. No cross talk. Please. So please no cross talk. Please no cross talk. Let's hear the resolution. You can read what the resolution is. But here we are asking general body to authorize association to conduct online vote. If majority does not think that we should do it, we should do the decision here. You have to say that no, we will not authorize you to do it. then we'll make the decision here itself. Right? It's as simple as that. Okay, right? So the motion is authorize
Utilization of surplus fund, reserve fund, requires the approval of every 2/3 majority of the owners.
My only suggestion here is, let us slightly reword the resolution. ये ऑनलाइन हटा के आप कहते हैं in principle डाल दीजिए. Okay, and then last, before executing the capex, we will have another issue.
Yes. It has to be.
Simple इतना कर दीजिए. I think we'll have much more clarity.
Last point has to be resolved.
Authorize AOA is fine. 2, go ahead with all of this. Okay, point 1, 2, 3. Online reduce निकाल दीजिए. And last is, before finalizing the capex, the BOM will come back to the AGM and take forward.
For last one, you will
I think that will be fine. The only, I think, let's understand the intent behind it. Okay. Please understand the intent behind it. This is the single largest expenditure that we are going to incur from common fund, which is associations fund. Right? Nobody has the right to say, "Nahi, मैं मेरा building renovation से contribution नहीं दूँगा." I face the penalty. People don't have choice. This is a central common fund that we will recover from NCLT and other things. We will spend that common fund on this single largest expenditure, and it will impact every single individual with an irreversible process. Right? They will not have a connection.
No problem.
Hence, the intent is simply to get a wider.
So nice suggestion, and we can also include that in the resolution. What we say is, again, one of the action points emerging is to get wider information. This information will be circulated through email or electronic media to all the stakeholders.
Wider consensus.
Wider consensus in the next AGM. Right now, all the BOM is to be authorized in principle carry on this project. Start working on it. We all know that there are many procedural issues. It's like 1 year before we started, maybe 9 months. So let it be authorized that in principle go ahead, work on it, finalize the capex options. Also, all these questions of resolution, regulatory, mandatory, etc. will also come in there. And then, in the meanwhile, keep informing all the 614 residents about all the activities, and then have a special AGM 6 months, 9 months down the line.
See, basically what we are saying that we have to have an appropriate agreement with the board. That is the point 2. And so today, are we allowing the board to enter to an appropriate agreement? Because once there is an agreement, we cannot go back. Let this point also be clear.
Okay.
So it's only what happened that authorized execution before the order is placed, call another general body. So this part.
The capex will be known by the time we are going for the. So both the points can be at that point.
But that means once we go have an appropriate agreement with board, we really cannot go back. There is no going back.
What is the time difference between one and one? We submit a proposal. How long will it take for them to come back to us?
What is more important, one is submitting a plan, other is signing an agreement. Agreement is sort of binding. So that means when I am submitting the plan, technically I can come back. I can say sorry. But once we have that, we pushed it. The time difference may not be much, but the first is the submission of plan from our side, which we can withdraw, we can say sorry. But once you sign an agreement,
so my second question is, will we be able to conduct the study, come up with the right capex in those 2 to 3 months before signing the
agreement? So agreement, most probably,
if we are able to, then probably what he is suggesting, we can do that. Let us take an in-principle approval and go ahead with the estimation of the CapEx. Submit a plan to the authorities, and before signing this second bullet and the third bullet, before entering into an agreement with the board and execution of this project, we will take
Hold on. So there is actually quite a few activities we have done before this.
So that is why
we can add one more bullet point. Rather, we can have one bullet point simply saying that authorize AOA to conduct all preliminary due diligence and before submitting a plan. Okay. That is your simpler. Because once you submit a plan, you are committed. Sorry? Well, once you can withdraw, but I would. It doesn't matter.
So, can I make one suggestion? Here, in that case, if we are going to at this stage approve the first step, saying work and create a plan, submit a plan, know what it really is, but short of getting into an agreement. So just before that, Rajan, is that possible that we give a plan, work on a plan?
If you have planned for that, what is stopping? Right. So, have you not made up your mind?
No, but made up the mind is the debate that we are having. So I don't know.
One more step here.
Just a minute. Here there is no debate. The question was coming whether we go online or not. Right. So that is the issue. So let us handle that.
Everyone has lived less than now. You want every answer to it. And they are saying give us time to let it digest, let it go. So they are saying before you do the final agreements, please involve us, we've heard everything today. Let us also digest it.
Which is I think okay.
Here I am not saying we need to digest. People say, here say, we have hard enough that we have made up our mind.
So can we for now, so rather than between plan and agreement, can there be a checkpoint?
There can be, but then if you have to plan and then
see, there will be.
Today we don't have a plan in the sum. So why don't we say
what happens? What is the plan? Once you are talking of plan, what is the plan? That means a drawing showing the equipment capacity and obviously because they have certain standards. So if they are giving some power, they want to see that it is rated properly, and that is the drawing which we have to submit, which has to be stamped. So that is a submitted plan and get it approved. That is this one. And then we proceed.
But unless we have got money in hand, how do we...
So we are coming to the money part. The most important part we haven't come yet. But we are okay. If you don't want to get into an online course just yet, everybody agrees we need a plan. Everybody is saying that before you get into an agreement, let's have clarity on what the plan says and where is the money to afford. Right? That's what we are saying. So could we rework this to at least get to that first part?
Yes. Yes.
So at least one more
but second is no point of return. If you get into an agreement,
there is a gap between submission and agreement.
I am saying that don't only agree on first, also agree on second.
Let's agree on first.
So then gap between submission and
Maybe we can jump a couple of slides. Joy, can I go? Yes. And see, this is the one.
So let's talk through this because the question on funding. Where is the money? We are debating so much. There are three schools of thoughts when we are debating internally. First option is, and nothing happens until we start getting the flow of money from NCL. But we are not going to get the entire rupee in one day. Right? It is going to happen over 12-18 months. There is a payment pattern, etc. that we talk about. Now, one school of thought is first pay 100% of our corpus, which is about 80%. Right? Whatever money we recover, because these are the two most important things we are fighting for. Need our corpus and bring it elected. So we
one comes first? First is limit corpus, after we build the corpus, then as money comes in, we invest in electricity. Second option is half of the corpus into the and then build out the rest of the corpus post time. Because this is obviously a time limit. As we get money, the first set of money you put first 80 crores, you put it in electricity and then do the corpus. So
put it in simple terms. Say, what we are expecting, the first range of money is expected by September, about 4 crores. So earliest we can start the work is September, or if we say that it's the first option where we build all these things, you will add another 6 months. So that will be from March onward. And if we take something in between, then maybe like December. So it is not that things are going to happen today. Money has to grow. Unless we have money in the bank, we cannot go forward. So
this is also something we need the House's opinion and decision. So
option 3 says work can start sometimes in September. If it is option 2, work can start sometimes in December. And if it is option 4, the work will start sometimes in
okay, can we, I mean, this is a less contentious issue. Can we get a view on this and pass this resolution? Then we'll go back to the unfinished business we have.
Balance is obviously balance.
What is it out of the 3 options? Just to remind, option 1 is. Keep that okay.
Let's start by option 1.
Option 1, another minute to come. This time it's
Start with option 2.
I think it's also a matter of perspective. What risk you are talking about?
This is purely from funding. Here, because the risk is on fund. Saying that, remember, अगर पैसा नहीं आया, आपने खर्चा का 8 करोड़ का लिमिट कर दिया.
But I have tell you that in terms of say when we are committing amount, right? You go back to the middle. So I can no just we are planning. Say after the SGN, what is the progress? The development is the concerned party has given 50 lakhs rupees and guarantee as a commitment, their commitment to the proposal. Now it is lying before NCLT. NCLT hearing is on 10th of June, 9th of June, and if it passes on that day, 60 days from that resolution passing, the party will 4 crores. You are a better person.
The next hearing by NCLT will take place on 9th of June, and if on that date, if order is reserved, it will take at least 1 month that order to come. And from that date, 60 days is the mandated payment date. So, 3 months, 90 days from, 9th of
Manoj, you need to refresh the memory of people what we said. We said 3 months you get how much money? 4 crores. 4 crores.
After 3 months, you will get an upfront payment of 4 crores.
Is it guaranteed? Guaranteed?
Balance will come.
If NCLT approves, it is guaranteed.
If NCLT approves.
Yes.
So let me repeat the payment terms that is there in the plan. Upfront payment of 4 crores. Another 90 lakhs per month for next 12 months. 60 lakhs per month for next 12 months. So that is another 7 lakhs. 7 crores. 7 plus 4 is 11. There is another element, 18 ka kitna tha?
4 crores.
4 crores, another third party.
That means 3 to 4 months.
So that will take another 3 to 4 months. Then that is another 4. 11 plus 4.
No. This review will come maybe by October.
September, I said 4 months.
October or maybe November. So by September you should take
Next is for 1 year. And then we the 3 flats that they are handing over that we have to sell. So depending on how we clear. So that is the payout pattern. We just need to decide where is the, again, just to answer the question, where is the risk? The risk is about spending money before you have it. Saying when do you commit to what and how do you prioritize between building a corpus versus getting the electricity? That is the value. Because we want both end of the day. What do you do?
Please try to
Go for option 1. Okay, now time to vote. Time to vote. Where is Anand? Now you count. How many of you are going for option 1? You think we should go, we build the corpus first. Once we have a corpus money, then we start the electric. How many? Raise your hand and keep it raised so we can count. Raise your hand. Option 1. Option 1. Please keep it raised now. It is divided so we have to count. Keep your hand raised. Option 2. Option 2. How many
Option 2, one more time. 25.
And option 3, how many? That we spend it first. Alright, so here please summarize what is the vote. So they will know the resolution.
So option 1 is 20, option 2 is 26, and option 3 is 50.
So option 1 is selected by 30 to 26. Okay. Alright, let's note that resolution. Thank you for that. Is there anything else? Now we need to finish that unfinished business, please. How do we want to do it? I think everybody's intent is there.
That means money for getting this job will come sometimes in November. Earlier in November, maybe December. So we can obviously have one more general body. By that time, we will have a proper estimate and get approval. I think
So for now then, let's note that AGM is authorizing to submit a work and submit a plan. At least the online part. Huh? Online part. Only the first bullet. Saying submitting a plan. So can we pass the resolution that AGM is authorizing us to work on a plan and submit?
टाइम मैंडेट तो नहीं रहेगा
Once more to pass the resolution. Everybody raise your hand. Got it? Okay. Last time. You are not right? No. Only two no. Who are the two no's? Everybody hands down. Anybody who does not have to answer. Who? Okay. So you can give us a guess. So you can give us.
That was not correct.
Previous one, right? Yeah, can you make it only the first part?
Without online.
Without online. Okay. All right. So with that, I think we have covered.
No,
this.
then, no. Then the second point we have to and then we have to mention that this one will come back, VOF will come back for everything in another general. Yes. So that means we are authorizing GOM to come to the general body with the appropriate plan to proceed. Yes. So that is what we should say. Yes. So second one is changing. You are authorizing GOM to come back to general body for a proper plan for execution. For a proper plan for execution. Come back to general body.
change for it.
So you are authorized come back to the general body with the appropriate execution plan. Execution plan we have.
All right. I think thank you. We are done. Is there any other matter anybody want to anything?
I think we want that option. In option one, there is instead of delaying the project.
Sorry?
In option one, one project will be delayed. So if you are delaying the project, you have to on this. But the delay is the understanding.
But before that, I want to tell you one thing. The caterer who is serving food today, he has been shortlisted to run our cafeteria. If you like, you say yes, he will be confirmed. So please, before you leave, let us know, I or Mr. Mono, whether you like the food. If you like the food, he gets the order from the cafeteria.